Go Productions.
This stuff's creepy.
I wake up and I see three figures standing at the end of the bed.
They actually saw some 7 to 8 foot tall, hair covered ape men looking creatures that were looking at them through the trees.
Reality stranger than fiction.
I see this bipedal creature peeking out behind a tree.
Welcome to Where the Weird Ones Are! You're so weird.
Hey, this is Rochelle Stratton, and you are listening to Kevin with Where the Weird Ones Are. So sit back, relax, and enjoy.
What's up, you freaky weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode, hearing people. Today's episode is with my good friend Emily. Yay, Emily! Emily's here.
Yay!
It's been a while, been a long minute. But glad to have her back. But I do want to say before we get started, if you are experiencing any kind of mental distress here in the United States, please dial or text 988. They can give you any kind of resources that you might need with any mental distress issue that you are having. And if you just want to help somebody, they also can give you the resources for that as well. So just want to throw that out there before we really get started. So, Emily, welcome back to the show. This is, I think, your third or fourth appearance, but the last time you were on was like 2 years ago. And also, Emily did help me with a lot of design work for the show too. And I'm extremely grateful for that. But it's been a little bit since we've really had a one-on-one. But Emily, how are you tonight?
I'm super special awesome.
Nice. Glad to have you here, man. It's really nice because, you know, early on in this podcast journey, you and I, kind of connected, and I kind of just feel like you're a part of, like, you're like family to me. There's a few people, like a handful of people that I've met through this medium so far, and you're definitely somebody that I feel is special to me. And yeah, so I'm super stoked to chat with you. If you don't mind letting people know real quick before we really get started, letting them know, who you are, what you do, where they can find you and stuff like that.
Sure thing. So I'm Emily. I also go by the Fine Art Medium. I have my own YouTube channel. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, but I don't really post that much on there. And I help clients around the world with their paranormal issues, whether they have hauntings, attachments, or just need guidance. I also am an author of a new Oracle deck, which you have your own copy that I sent you. Of course, I forgot to grab it, but you can find that stuff on my website. And if you need to book any appointments with me, you can also do that on my website at www.thefineartmedium.com, all one word. So, yeah.
Yeah, nice. So, since the last time we talked, so in the past, I would say, so I guess my question would be, in the past year, out of all the things that you've been doing, what sticks out in your mind as like the most profound in the past year of experience?
So I did connect and I kind of helped create a new paranormal investigation team. We call ourselves Astral Paranormal. It's comprised of several people. You actually had Alex on your podcast, I don't even know, a few weeks ago, a month ago.
Yeah, about a
She's
month now.
Yeah, she's the one who pretty much put it together and it's her baby.
Yeah,
Along
she's a
with
lovely
that,
lady.
yeah, I love her so much. She's one of my best friends. Um, along with that, I did network and I'm doing some collabs with another person. His name is Hugh, and we've been going on investigations separate from Astral Paranormal because Astral Paranormal is working on a TV show. We were filming at the Everett, and some things went down there, like paranormal wise, and we're trying to get all that stuff together. So yeah.
Well, so with that, with the astro paranormal stuff, like I know that you're putting all the evidence and stuff together for the show. What can you tell us about the experiences there without, giving too much away from the show?
That's a hard question because I don't know what I am allowed to talk about.
Okay. All right, we'll
Yeah.
just won't talk about it at all then.
Okay. I don't want to get in
But
trouble with Alex.
right. No, I totally understand that. So what the Everetts you said
Yep,
is
the
where you
Everett.
guys investing?
Yep, it's a theater in Middletown, Delaware.
Okay. And is that like the whole show, or do you guys do different places for each episode?
So initially we were going to do a whole season just at the Everett,
Mm-hmm.
but some things went wrong with the equipment and whatnot, so we have to pivot and do some other things. So I think we're going to be going around other places, but again, not 100% sure. It's just based off of what they can get from the footage that we already shot.
Okay. I got you. I got you. That's interesting. I love paranormal shows. Do you know, so obviously I don't want to go into like everything with the show, but do you know where is it only going to be on YouTube? I think I talked to Alex about where the show was going to be distributed, and I can't remember off the top of my head.
I think we were looking for like a network to pick it up.
Okay.
Like a network and not just be on YouTube. So like an
Okay.
official. Yeah.
Yeah, like streaming or TV, actual like Discovery or something like that.
Yeah, that was the goal anyway.
That would be dope. I would love to be able to just like turn on my TV and be like, "Hey, it's Emily."
Mhm.
That'd be so cool. So you've gone through a lot of change in this last year. How is that sitting with you spiritually right now? Like, do you feel, I don't know the best way to put it. Are you feeling lighter or heavier, I guess? I don't know if that makes any sense spiritually.
So I did a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing, and actually, even though in the moment of when the situation happened, um, I honestly believe it was for my highest good because separating myself from that like toxicity, I feel like I've been able to grow and expand tremendously and work on myself more. Like I am working on my health too by going to the gym every single day for 1.5 to 2 hours, trying to strengthen like my back because I have a lot of issues with my back and a lot of inflammation just in my like like abdomen torso area just from the endometriosis and like the interstitial cystitis and the fibromyalgia and the PCOS. It's literally a rap sheet of issues. So the goal is to not die by 40 and just try to get more strength and healthier, improve my diet and stuff, and so I can work like a decent job because right now I am on disability through my government job, but I like money and that's not enough money, so I want to get a better job that is consistent. I'm not saying that it's not consistent, but like you know what I mean, like a regular paycheck that you can do more than just pay your bills because I could pay my bills, but I want to go places and whatnot. And it's
Dog,
like I
everybody wants to go places.
Yeah, and it's like now I have that relief and I don't have to worry because I have a roof over my head and I'm getting like the basic needs met that I couldn't necessarily do before within the situation I was in. and all that stuff ties together. Like, you want to focus on your mind, body, and spirit simultaneously and not neglect one. You have to work on all of them. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. You just is yesterday, Thursday? I don't know. It was sometime within this past week you posted some pictures of yourself, and I gotta say you look really good. You look happy, you look healthy, and I am 100% proud of you and happy to see you thriving right now. It's an amazing thing.
thank you. And I've got Ghost with me, thank God, because that was a big issue for a while. Like, we were afraid, like, oh my God, can I take him with me? And like,
Yeah.
where would he go? And all that fun stuff. But he is literally my emotional support animal. Unofficial, because I don't have documentation, but still. just
I
just to be just to be, transparent.
Yeah. Um all right. So one of the questions I have for you is like within the past year with helping people with their mediumship with your reading, what in your mind, you don't have to give like, obviously you don't have to give client information out and stuff like that, but like what um would you say has been the most memorable reading for you?
Ooh, there's quite a few. And actually, I had a lot of memorable readings at Paracon that just happened in May.
No way. I wish I went. I'm so mad that I
Ugh,
didn't, but there was so much going on up here with selling the house and stuff. Ah, man, I'm so mad that I missed it, but
I
it's
know,
all
I
right.
was like, I hope he could come, but I knew you were dealing with stuff. But yeah, actually they were just simple, like, general tarot readings. And it's different from when I'm in person versus doing things remotely, because I am clairsentient, so I can pick up things like better in person. And so, like, in person, I was just nailing these people. I mean, I've had, and when I say nailing, I mean, like, I was getting everything right and whatnot. And I got to the point where I and I don't want to sound like I'm boosting, or if you know what I mean, but like, I was making people cry and I felt really bad. But a lot of times, and you know how I am as a person, I'm really blunt. I don't sugarcoat stuff. And so, like, that's how I do my readings. And I was just picking things up, things that they didn't want to hear. Um a lot of mental health struggles, and sometimes people just need that person to just be blunt and tell them what is going on with them, because some people are in denial. And while it wasn't mostly paranormal, it was just more internal stuff for them. I felt like that was one of the biggest things for me, because yeah, when I do remote readings, people will say, yeah, that's right. But having, like, seeing physical reactions in person is different.
Yeah, I could see that how that would be different. Um, even conversations. Like not saying that like doing the episodes and stuff like that any are bad or anything like that. Like they're still fantastic conversations, but always like being able to conversate with somebody like we are now in person is always way better and more like animated, and it feels more comfortable. So like I totally can see how reading would be the same way.
Yeah, and I feel like too, with doing things like online through Zoom or whatever people like to use, yeah, like, you can have the best quality, like, equipment, but there's also like this energetic exchange between people when you're, like, person to person, and you feel it more than how you would this way. So, I mean, I feel like that too is something to take into consideration.
When you see these people, like are you just like at Paracon, are they walking by or are they coming to you when you're like, "Hey,
So
I noticed this about you."
Oh, no, so what I had set up was, like, I had, like, a sign that said, "Hey, I did readings," and people would just sign up on a sign-up sheet, and when it was their turn, they would come in the back of my booth and then sit down, and then I would do their readings. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't, like, I call it, like, psychic catcalling. I don't do that shit. It seems so sus. It's like when
It
people
is.
message you on Instagram and they're like, "Hey, you have an amazing energy and I'm picking this and this up against you or about you, and would you like a reading?" But it's like it's not free when they're doing that. It's just, I don't know, it's phony.
I've gotten a few messages and they call me babe first. Hey
Oh yeah.
baby. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm not even gonna entertain the idea of this.
Mhm.
So, all right. So, the people that you did talk to that day, what stuck out of your mind for out of those readings?
Sure. So there was this one person, she was talking about, well, she thought she had an attachment because she had just investigated one of the buildings at Penhurst, and she thought something followed her back. And oh yeah, oh boy. So without getting into too much detail in her reading, because it's private stuff and I don't want to, because a lot of it was more like mental health and specific to her. I will say this, when I helped her and gave her the information she needed, the spirit that was attached to her followed me home. And so I had
Fantastic.
yeah, so an earthbound spirit, like male, and he was really creepy. He followed me home, and it was after a long day. I'm just like, I want to go to sleep because we had to get up at like 5 in the morning to get there by 6, I believe, to set up each day. And so we were just tired. I didn't even think about cleansing myself before I got back in the car, which you should do, but I didn't. And yeah, he followed me home, and then he started literally the day we got back. I had my toolbox, which has all like my paranormal like gadgets in it, like the EMF, the REM pods and stuff in it, on the floor flat. And I go upstairs, and mind you, Ghost is passed out. Like, he's not roaming around or anything. I hear slam, and the toolbox is flipped over with everything in it. And I come downstairs, and Ghost is still like passed out. He didn't even like react.
Oh my gosh.
And then after that, it was funny because Chastity texted me around that same time that happened. She's like, "Hey, something followed you home." And I was like, "Dude, you know what just happened?" And then I told her what I just, told you. And then I had another person who didn't know anything about what happened also message me. I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's my confirmation. Not that I really
Mm-hmm.
needed it after the toolbox slamming on the floor. And then a week or so, no, not even a week, like 2 days later, 3 in the morning, the fire alarms went off in the morning, and it,
Lovely.
it woke up everybody in the house. It was great. And then I kept seeing things out of the corner of my eye, but I did cleanse the house and it is gone, thank God. But that was one of the most, I would say, exciting things that happened.
That's crazy. I always get a little worried with talking to people a little bit sometimes. So especially when the story is like really creepy. 'Cause I know like they can use the electrical currents and stuff like that to travel, which has happened to me before, where they've visited me in my studio a few times, and I've had the studio cleansed and stuff like that. Um, but so a recent one, it'd be two episodes before this one comes out. So it's literally the last one today as we're talking, is the one that is the most recent. And it's a couple out in a desert, a ghost town in the desert, in the Mojave Desert in California. And she has like poltergeist type ghosts out there, and they're males. They're late 60s, 70s era ghosts. Um and she's pretty sure they're horny all the time. And but they're creepy, and they do creepy things, and they mess with their electricity. And the minute I hit like record, all of a sudden my computer and everything just started going crazy. And ever since I've talked to them, I've been having computer issues, um, to where like I'll sit down to like edit or something like that, and the computer will buffer and buffer and buffer and buffer. And I'm not saying that 100% is lends like evidence to it being spiritual or anything like that. It's just the weirdness of the timing of it. You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah.
and it's happened before with my buddy Ron, who's been on the show a few times. Every time I talk to him, there's always something weird. I always catch an EVP in his episodes. All three of his episodes, there has been a voice at least at some point in the recording. Um, so and there was, I can't remember who exactly it was that I was talking to, but I think it was shortly after the last time you and I had talked or done anything together. um there was, all of a sudden, there was just like, it was like every day, every time I was in the studio trying to record or edit, there was something out of my peripheral, or like and again, I couldn't remember who I was recording with, but I was in the middle of or getting ready to record, and somebody knocked on the door of the bedroom, and me and my dog are in the studio. She's under the desk under my feet right in front of me. And I look at the door and I'm like, what the? It was a clear knock, clear. It was doot, doot, doot. And I go, come in. And nothing happens. And then I look down at Rizzo like, well, maybe she like slapped her tail against the floor, but she's all the way on her bed. Like, even if she slapped her tail, it wouldn't have hit the floor. So I'm like, all right, so somebody's in the house. So I open the door, nobody's there. And I'm like, all right, now I have to get my gun and search the house. So then I do that, and there's nothing. And it wouldn't be until later that night when I went to bed that I would see a shadow figure and stuff like that. But that, like, it's always, it's weird how certain people, when you talk to certain people about certain things, some like that what happened to them almost always happens to me if it's strong enough.
Hmm. I have that with clients every single time. If they're dealing with something paranormal, I will experience their paranormal activity. So that doesn't surprise me. I mean, we've talked about you being energy sensitive, um, and yeah, so I'm not
Yeah,
surprised that you would experience anything.
yeah. And you did shit, what's the word I'm looking
The
for?
past life. Did I do past life on
Past
you?
life. Yes, you did a past life for me. And one of the first ones that you said that you had was a dragon. And lately I've been seeing a lot of like Japanese or Chinese zodiac. And I was born in 88, so that was the year of the dragon. And I don't know if I
Interesting. I
mentioned that
didn't
to
know
you.
that. No,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, I don't think I
crazy.
did. I don't when you told me, I don't even think it like clicked in my mind then either. When we talked about it, but yeah, so I was seeing, I was like, did I tell Emily when she told me that I was a dragon in a past life? And I was like, I don't know if I did. I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Um, so yeah, I was like, that's interesting that she came up with a dragon, and the year that I was born for the Chinese zodiac was a dragon as well. And it's funny too because I'll see a bunch of videos about the Chinese zodiac, and none of them are about the dragon. They're always about somebody else's, um, one of the other animals or whatever. But um, but yeah, every time I talk to you, there's like more confirmation. I know that you're one. I know that you're real. And there's no like, and I know that you don't go out of your way to try and make it seem like you're real. You're like, well, you believe me or don't. It's like, I don't care. Um, and I think that's the best way to be. um, and I definitely like the way you do things, and I do have your cards here somewhere. I know that they're here, and I wish that I thought I had them sitting here on my desk because I did want to show people, but I might just um add a video or something at the end or something where I have them for the episode itself. Um, but what was that process like? Did you have to did you when you made the oracle cards, do you make your like own oracles, or are you just making the back for them?
So, okay, the whole thing that you get, the cards, the book, the images, everything, I designed. I just had a card printing company, which happens to be the same company that I believe prints Pokemon cards, do those cards.
Oh,
So,
nice.
when I was doing them, I had to come up with the concept and figure out like there's a lot of oracle cards that are like the same, like in terms of the theme. And I didn't want to do that because I mean everybody has those. Plus, I wanted to be more helpful. Some of the oracle cards out there are just so generic and vague. I don't feel like they're that helpful. And I wanted to be helpful. And I'm like, well, what am I good at? Oh, I'm good at paranormal help. And so I that's kind of how I figured out what to like how to uh I don't even know what the words I'm trying to figure out, but compile the card and structure the deck. So, and then I would just go through like each section of okay, entities, and then I would go through entities and then like how do they come into people's lives? Like what are the most common ways people invite them? And then I would just go through that and then so on and so forth. And then all I really did was get an Excel document and just put all those in there. And then I got like these blank playing cards that you can get off Amazon. I wrote them all down and then I would practice using it to see if it was efficient and like reliable and accurate. And after doing that for a while, then that's when I decided to like go on my drawing tablet the same way I do your like designs for like your labels and your um like we were doing the comic stuff and your YouTube channel artwork. The same way I create that is how I created those with Canva, of course, just so I get the dimensions and stuff right and the cool fonts. But yeah, I mean,
Will
it took
say real
me,
quick before you continue
yeah,
is that I've tried to make some art based off a lot of the things that you did, and like the dimensions and stuff. I always create it way too fucking big, and I was like, God damn it, where's Emily when you fucking need her? Because you were out off doing your own thing at the time, and I kind of like wanted to change it up a little bit, and so I was using Canva and stuff like that, and other artists, and they would send me their stuff, but it was never sized the way like you did it. And how like what's behind us right now on the background, I don't know if you can see it on your end, but um it's basically the same thing that you created, just with a little bit of clip art thrown in there. And it's supposed to be my YouTube banner, but it's way too big, and you can only so when you see it on the phone, it's just a little piece of it, and I was like, "What did Emily do? Like, how do I fuck?" I was like, "Son of a gun." But yeah, so I just wanted to throw that. Um, I think, making sure, like, when you work with an artist that makes sure that the art that they're making for you fits what you're using it for is very important, because I think I've used like 2 or 3 other artists, and it's always too big. So, I think it's amazing that you take the time to do that too. So,
yeah, no offense to them, but that's kind of lazy. Well, so when I was when I was creating it, I always made sure like it fit. And when I did it, I would put it on a dummy channel that I have and made sure it fit properly. And if it didn't, I would just keep doing it until it fit. And yeah, I wanted to make sure it was perfect because you're paying your hard earned money for it. So, I wanted
yeah.
it to be good. But yeah, I mean, and that was the same thing like with the cards. So I was working with a rep from the card printer, and they would always be like, hey, just make sure you do this, this, and this. And so I had templates and stuff for that. And for your stuff, now that I have it all sized right, I just use a template that I created. So if someone doesn't have the template, good luck.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, so I ended up making another one, like, so I used this background to literally today, and that's when really, because the fact that I was talking to you tonight, I was like doing it this morning, and I was like, I kind of wanted to, like, I know you would have answered to ask you like the sizing and stuff, but I kind of figured it out a little bit, at least a little bit better, because when I put this background on the YouTube banner, you could only see my logo and the alien. So like right behind me, you can see the little bottom of the alien's abdomen there, and so it's just an alien holding a peace sign in my logo, and I was just like, well, I guess that's good enough. But so when I made the new one today, I kind of like based it off of, I used a template on Canva for um YouTube banners. So like instead of using the whole space to make this background that I'm using right now, I sized the background into this little space and then just did some other designs around it. So when you're watching it on your computer or TV, you get a little bit more of the design, but on your phone you get at least this what we see right now.
Yeah, and like with YouTube, it's tricky because they have multiple versions for like your background. So
Yeah.
you'll have like the TV version, the desktop version, the mobile version. And it's like when you design it, you have to put the design like with all those things in consideration. So it's like you're
Hmm.
designing it for three things at once. So no matter which way you view it, it still works.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people are really good at with their YouTube banners, like all the like the influencers and stuff. They have really interesting banners. And you also made the banner for my son, and he still to this day is like amazed with that banner and his logo. He just started driving and he wants to get custom seat covers with the logo that you made for him on it, and we haven't done it yet, because he doesn't want white in every custom car cover seat cover. It's white on the front. That way and then they print your design on top of the white, and he doesn't want it to be white. So we haven't done that yet, but I think you're an amazing artist, and if anybody needs an artist or designer, they should definitely hit you up because your art is definitely worthwhile, I think, in my opinion.
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah, I'm trying to boost uh my art stuff so I get more freelance opportunities. So
Yeah. Yeah. You were working on I feel like you were. Anyways, I could be incorrect. You were working on your own comic at one point, right?
I was, and then I kind of was just like, I should kind of focus my attention on other things, like because I want to get
Mhm.
a book done, like a quantum physics and psychic and like paranormal phenomena like book done. I'm already starting the second oracle deck, so like there's so many things I want to do.
Yeah. I feel you. There's so many things that I wanna do. You wanna know what I decided that I was gonna, dip my feet into? So, not only am I dipping my feet into trying to make my own indie films, I decided that I was gonna try and make my own music. And,
Ooh.
um, so I have a beat right now and that I had made, and now I just gotta record vocals, but this microphone isn't that great, and I know like my voice kind of gets a little raspy sometimes on certain notes, and it won't pick that up. This microphone is definitely not going to pick that up. So it's kind of like hip hop singy kind of thing is what I'm
Gotcha.
going for. So I want to see what it sounds like. I'm not saying that I'm going to be amazing at it, but I want to try it, at least try it before I die. I'm getting close to 40. I still have 2 more years, but still like close enough to 40 to where I'm like, it's a midlife crisis. I need to do everything before I die. I'm going to die soon kind of thing. But you are working on a book right now,
Yep.
right? Is it
Mhm.
that book that you just mentioned that
Yep.
you're working on? Yeah. How is that going so far?
I'm like 100 pages in, probably another 200 pages to go. I'm very like when it comes to information, I like to be very organized and structured. And so I'm going through like all the quantum physics like definitions and how they compare and correlate with like paranormal and psychic phenomena and how we can explain those things through like string theory and stuff like that. So I have to do all the research and learn it all over again because I took like a 6 month break.
Are you do you have like a publication date in mind? Are you working with an agent or a publisher at all, or are you gonna like self-publish?
The dream would be to have an agent or a publisher,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, I don't know how to go about that. I'd have to do more research on that. So right now it's looking to be self-published. But once I get towards the end, I'll probably go back and see if I can get it picked up by an official publisher. So,
Would be dope, dog. That's my dream. Is an official is to a traditional publisher. Um, so since the last time we talked, I have published 2 books on Amazon. They're not they're they're fun. They're not like the kind of books that I would like. You should read this because I could make money. Like it's not. They're not serious. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't like take a whole bunch of time. Like they're cool stories, and like the first one, I based it off the comic that we were working on together, that we ended up not doing. Um, and so I took my comic script and changed it into a story. So it's like really short and straight to the point, which the comic would have been. Like the comic would have been. And then the second one is a little bit more of a book where I focus more on telling the story than trying to show you action. You know what I mean? So, um, um, but I do like using it as like a stepping stone to more serious creativeness. And I really just think using that as a stepping stone to just be like, I'm doing something, you can read it too and just kind of like tell where my style of storytelling is at, and maybe it'll entice you to read something more serious that a publisher, took and published and stuff like that. So, um I can't wait. Really hope, everything you do has been amazing. And are you still working on the Lights at Midnight podcast? Are you guys still doing that?
so we were on hiatus for a bit because we kind of were doing our own separate things, like me joining Astral Paranormal and then Chastity creating our Appalachian Nightmare and her doing investigations. So there were talks about coming back to finishing up our whatever season we were on.
Mhm.
But life keeps getting in the way, and it's just hard to record anything, at least on my end, because of my new situation. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with it, but yeah.
Well, what you guys do have is fantastic, and if you are listening and or watching, I do highly recommend Lights at Midnight podcast. What they do have out there for you is definitely worth checking out, especially the episode that I'm on, because I'm amazing, and that episode was amazing. So, anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had some really interesting conversations. And like season 1 is one of those seasons where that it's information, so it's not like a time limit of when you need to listen to it. It's like whenever you want to learn about the paranormal, you can just
Mhm.
listen to it. So
Dope, dog. Dope. And so I've been seeing a couple videos from you, either Instagram or TikTok or both. Um, so it's with a gentleman. I believe you brought him up in early on when we first started talking because Astral Paranormal is working on some of their stuff. So what brought you and this guy together to work together?
So I found him online through we just like the same stuff. He has his own paranormal YouTube channel. Well, it's more so urban exploring than paranormal, though here and there he does introduce paranormal stuff, but he does do a lot of like exploring, and he knows of a lot of interesting places. And so we were talking and I was like, yo, we should do an investigation together. So he introduced me to some of his favorite spots like Catman's Grave, Hans Graf Cemetery, and then there was another one, but it wasn't really haunted. It was just a fun place. I forget if it was like the Twin Tunnels. I'm not sure. But so yeah, we did an investigation at Hans Graf Cemetery and then one at Catman's Grave. So
Mm,
that's the only two we've got going so far. And here and there, we'll do like a podcast style discussion video together, kind of like how we're doing right now. Um, yeah.
dude, that's cool. Um, it's amazing the people you meet just from the internet. Imagine if we didn't have this tool right now. You know what I mean? Not saying that life would be duller or anything like that, but like the connections I have made would have never been made. The friendships I've formed would never have been formed and stuff like that. And you connecting with this gentleman, you know, because that's what those are the videos that I'm seeing is like it's the afterwards where you guys are like standing together and you're talking about what you just experienced at the location. And I thought that was really cool. Um, and I really want to do more investigations. I've only done 3 in since I've started the podcast, but they've all been pretty interesting. I mean, the last one that I did was the Conjuring House, and that one kinda left a bad taste in my mouth just because of the owner, and she was kinda out there, but I've noticed a lot lately, a lot of YouTube influencer, paranormal teams or whatever are starting to buy these paranormal locations, and I don't know if that what do you think that's all about? Do you think they're trying to capitalize on the infamy of the places and are like, "Well, I did a video on this and my video went crazy, so Imma buy this place now and pop prop up the prices so I can become rich."
Yeah, I think a lot of it is taking advantage and noticing like the popularity of like paranormal content.
Mhm.
Um it's just skyrocketed. So now people are seeing like Sam and Colby. They bought that Farrar school. And I feel like they're kind of following after them in some ways. And yeah, I think they're just a lot of it's to capitalize on that stuff. I see very few people do it strictly for paranormal research. With the Conjuring House, I don't know where it is with Jason Hawes and like, because I know like every week the news changes on who has
Yeah.
like who owns it and whatnot. Like I was with Chastity in I think it was November to the Warren House. We went there in person. Um, and that was owned by Elton Castee and Matt
Matt
Rife.
Rife. Yeah.
Yep. And they did do a good job with restoring the place and taking good care of it. but there's some questioning I have in terms of like pricing. Not so of like going to do the investigation, but more so pricing of releasing content online. That's where I'm just
Uh,
like, that's suspicious. That's weird. Because obviously you got to take care of the place, which takes money. So, yeah, I mean, they're going to want to get their money back. And how they're going to do that? That's through charging high prices. But it's just weird to me that you're going to now charge people after they spent a crap ton of money. You're going to charge them another fee just so they can release the content. Because it's like, why do you think people are going there in the first place? Why do you think
yeah.
they're paying that money? And then now you're going to charge all this money. So, I mean, they could have changed it since I've been there. I know they were playing with pricing a lot over the last
Hmm.
few months. So, I don't know if they're still charging people to put out their content or whatever. If they stopped charging people and then Chas and I forked over a lot of money just so we could post our content, I'm gonna be mad. But yeah, a lot of these people, like these content creators, yeah, they'll seize an opportunity, and a lot of it is money motivated, honestly. But
Absolutely. That's my feeling on it because I just saw a video of another paranormal team. I believe they're brothers.
mm,
They bought a house. I think he said the murder house, which could be any house. I don't know what he's fucking talking
yeah.
about, but that's what he said. And I just like when I saw that, I was like, dude, fucking everybody's buying all these paranormal, these famous or these well-known paranormal teams are starting to buy these paranormal locations. I was like, what is going on here? Um, but yeah, so that's something that we also kind of encountered with the Conjuring house was as it wasn't that we had to pay to release any of the content that we made, but we had to give it to the owner for her to look at and then for her to give us permission afterwards. So like say there was pieces of the content she didn't like, we would have to take it out of it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I mean, part of that too, we had the media review, so that was included with like the fee for posting. So they were
Yeah.
checking to see like if you followed the guidelines and if you said accurate information. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, makes sense in a way. I just don't understand the charging people to be there and then charging them to be able to use the footage that they got. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Because the whole point of it is for the research and to compile it together and then, show it to people to be like, what do you think this is? Kind of thing. And then for them to be like, hey, give me some fucking money so you can do that. Like that's crazy to me, in my opinion.
yeah, I mean, just releasing my video, I got like 1.5K views around there. And it's like, if I was going there to make money, obviously I'd be doing something else because, I mean, 1,000 views maybe get you $5. So I'm not even making
Yeah.
my money back, even though we split it among 7 people. Um,
Yeah.
but still, it was still a lot of money. So, I mean, I'm super grateful that I had that opportunity because for me it was a learning experience. I got to learn like how long my energy lasts in a place like that and how susceptible I am to like attacks from negative things, and there was a lot of negative things. So there was a lot of learning on my end that I would never be able to get anywhere else. So I mean, that's invaluable, but I mean, a little extra money to get in return would have been nice.
Yeah, I hear you. So what was it like there? What were some of the things that you experienced there?
So at first I was super excited and a lot of adrenaline was going like through my body, so I'm just like hyper and I'm like I can dance all night long. Like I'm super excited. And like I wasn't afraid of anything. Like I'm so desensitized, like I don't care like I don't get afraid of that stuff. So then like getting into the museum, like the first round, because we had multiple groups, we kind of had to split it time wise and then rotate so everyone had their fair amount of investigating and hopefully got out of it what they wanted. And so like we got a lot of, I was surprised. Okay, I got a lot of EVP stuff, which when I do investigations, that's not something typically I get. um, I will get stuff on the spirit box because it's channeling through the radio stations and things. So, yeah, you're going to get a lot of that stuff. But I never expected to get EVPs. But towards the end, when I was super, super tired and drained, that's when all hell broke loose. So I got really, really sick. I got hives. My stomach hurt so bad. I had a migraine. Everything was happening all at the same time. I felt like I was dying. At one point, I'm talking to Chastity. I'm like, yo, I don't want to go to the hospital, but like, it feels like I need to go to the hospital. But
Oh no.
it was so bad. So it kind of ruined, at least for me, like half of the trip because I missed out like on a good few hours of investigating because I'm just like in the bathroom or in one of the beds, just like, oh my God, I feel like I'm dying. So, and the weird thing is, people will say, oh, maybe it's because you had an allergic reaction to whatever. I duplicated everything I ate and drank that day a few weeks afterwards to see like if was it something that I ate because like my issues and allergies and things, and did not have the same reaction. It was only in that house. That was the only variable that was different.
Damn, son. That's wild. That
So
is wild.
if you go there, make sure you are extra protected. Don't get cocky, and if you start feeling tired, you need to back out and recuperate your strength and energy because I noticed I was just getting like, I don't know how to describe it. It was like just the spirits and entities were poking and prodding at me until my shields were completely down, and that's when they were able to wreak havoc.
Damn those fucking ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did you while you were there, so because they're they spent their whole lives collecting all those things, were you able to sense the spirits of the Warrens at all, or
I got a lot of like residual energy like hits. I
okay.
didn't feel like any of them were hanging around the house, at least at that current time that I was there. Um, there was just so much negative stuff though hanging around, especially in the basement area and then like the museum area. Um, and Annabelle, surprisingly, is not what I thought in terms of like what the attachment or attachments are to it, because with haunted objects it's spirits or entities that are attached to the item. It was not what I expected. And mind you, I had seen her in person before in Gettysburg, but having the haunted object in its natural environment versus a foreign environment are two separate things.
So what was your interpretation of her and her home space?
So there was a lot of spirits and they kind of work together in terms of bringing the vibration down, oppressing the visitors that go there and getting reactions out of people, and it's almost like its own little ecosystem of how each thing has their own part to play. Annabelle is kind of like the best thing or best way I can describe it. She's made up of a bunch of different spirits and entities, thought forms. There's a collector entity there that like harvests like the souls, but also makes them do things towards the visitors to cause a negative energy response to then feed the collector, but then the spirits there because then the collector then feeds off the spirits, and it's like I said, it's they got their own little ecosystem. And so I mean that doll has a lot of spirits tethered to it. A lot of them are suffering because we did hear a lot of like screaming and wailing on the spirit boxes. But at the same time, there are high vibrational beings fighting to free those spirits. There was a lot of angelic singing and just spiritual warfare. It was literally a clusterfuck of everything that was going on.
Damn, son. Annabelle's got a split personality disorder.
She's DID, a bunch of spirits and entities associated with her. So yeah.
Now, there were a bunch of headlines. I can't remember the guy's name now, but he was a paranormal investigator that apparently worked with or like handled Annabelle a lot, and he had passed away, I think last year, if I remember correctly. I think his name was Michael Brown. I don't know if I'm correct in that. If
It doesn't sound right.
no,
We gotta look it up.
probably am not correct on that. I wish I had another screen so I could look it up.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
All right. Because I
Dan
wanted
Rivera.
to. What was
It
his
was
name?
Dan Rivera.
Wow, I was way
Yeah, I
off.
was
Where the
like,
frick was I getting Michael Brown from? I don't know where the hell that came from. Um, but apparently, so the word is that whatever is haunting Annabelle, um, did whatever to him. But I think which I guess, so I think he had a heart attack, if I'm not mistaken. And I know that I know that like a spiritual attack can cause a heart attack. So I'm not like ruling that out, but there's a lot of like speculation that because he handled Annabelle so much, and I think he took her with him to places too, like on tour or something like that. I don't know. Well, did you get any like um in meeting Annabelle, did you get any kind of like feelings that it would cause people like serious harm?
so I sat in her chair and I had literally a bad Charlie horse, but like in my heart area, which was really bad. In the video, you see me like, oh my God, like freaking out because it hurt so bad. So while spirits and entities can do that, because Robert the Doll
Mm,
did that to me, he
mm,
literally sent me to the floor while I was at work because I was like, "Fuck you," because I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how he abused animals, like in spirit form, like he was messing with them, and I don't know if he killed a
really?
dog or whatever. So I was pissed. I was like, "Fuck you," and because I did that, I had the worst chest pain, and it dropped me. So the lesson is don't do that. But in terms of her, I mean, there's a lot of things where a lot of stories where someone kind of mocked her and and she either killed them or they had a motorcycle accident or what have you. The box that she's in is extremely fortified with prayer and holy water, and they have priests, and he blesses that. And then they also have these special gloves that, like, it's no joke, like they take it seriously. I think the way she is contained right now, she's not too much of a threat, but if you aren't cautious and you don't continue to follow the protocols, I feel like it can end in tragedy. The thing is with Dan Rivera, just to disperse any like claims, the stuff that he dealt with was natural. It was things that he medically had going on. She did not cause his death. He had a lot of health issues.
I
Um
gotcha.
and and that's one of the things they do say when they give the tour. Like they're like, "Hey, he had a lot of like heart issues and things. Like Annabelle did not do that to him. Like it's something he was dealing with for his entire life." But And Chas and I looked into it ourselves psychically, and we did feel that it was medical and natural and not paranormal. Um, can the paranormal weaken you? Like, can the energies being in such negative energy all the time kind of wear down your barriers to where you succumb to things quicker? Absolutely. And maybe that did happen to him, but I feel like for the most part, it was just normal medical issues that he had.
I gotcha. So, I have one more question for you. So, for people that are just getting into like investigating, or they're just learning how to be spiritually protected and stuff, what advice would you give people to, protect themselves so they're not succumbing to spiritual warfare when they're either doing an investigation or just, daily life, and they are not bringing home attachments from investigations and whatnot?
Mhm. So the first thing I'd say is if you have a scheduled investigation, if you feel ill, whether it's like a physical ailment or you're having mental health issues, just don't go. Because if you go during that, that is pretty much a hole in your armor, and that is one way for things to attach and or just infiltrate your aura. Um, and plus, it can make things significantly worse. The next thing I would say is practice your protection. You can do that through meditation or visualization types of meditation, and just focus on however you want. People do the golden light around their body. For the Warren house, I it's as a visualization technique where I visualize myself putting on armor, and it's light armor, and then after that I'll do like my barrier of the golden light, and then you can wear protective jewelry, so you can wear like black tourmaline, um onyx, and or what's the other one, obsidian. My preference is black tourmaline. And then some people, they wear like crosses. I mean, necklaces and things or jewelry, they're a tool that you put your intention in. So it doesn't necessarily matter what you put it into. I like using the Seal of Solomon. That is one of the strongest like protection symbols that you can use. Um and so that's a good thing. I would always bring like incense with you. So when you're done with the investigation, you cleanse yourself before getting back into your car so you don't bring anything with you. And then during the investigation, you want to have that intention of nothing is allowed to follow me home. Um, and yeah, I mean, there's a lot that can go into it.
Doug, I feel you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Um, all right. So, closing question. I've asked this question to you the last time you were on. Um, although the question can mean a little bit different now. Um, are you finding fulfillment in everything that you're doing?
Yes, I just wish I had more time and energy because I feel like I'm doing so many projects that I'm not getting them done fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
But in doing this work, I'm still learning and I'm still growing, which to me is the most important part. Because if you're not growing, that means there's something up and you need to redirect yourself into a place where you are still growing, because you don't want to be stuck in that stagnant energy and or repeat any cycles either during when you're alive and then or when you reincarnate, because you don't want to have to relive some of the crappy stuff. But yeah, I mean, I do get a lot of fulfillment out of what I'm doing, and even more so now that that deck is out finally.
No, I'm I'm so happy. 'Cause one of the last conversations we were talking about that, you really working on that deck, and you were close to it being done, and then I think it's been a little over a year since then, and now they're finally out, and I'm happy for you. And I can't wait for you to publish your book. And just doing the things that make you happy. I love seeing my friends doing things that they enjoy doing, and I definitely think you deserve a lot of good things in your life. So, anyways, if you don't mind letting the people know in case they missed it in the beginning, let them know where they can find you and all the things that you do.
Yep, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok under the fine art medium, all one word and lowercase. And on my website at www.thefineartmedium.com. And if you need a reading, you can book through there. I also have art services you can book through there, whether it's a psychic art service or like just graphic design stuff. I can do a lot of stuff. I have many skills.
That she does. All right. So for the listeners, all of her stuff will be in the show notes if you want to go there to find all of her stuff, or if you just want to look her up from um, on your own. That's totally fine too. But they're there for the shortcut, so you don't have to go looking. All right. So other than that, if you don't mind, like, follow, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. I would greatly appreciate it. Obviously not expected, but if you do, that'd be fucking dope. Also, if your podcatcher does not allow you to leave a rating and review, you can do so on the website if you want. Where the weird ones are podcast.com. That is also where you can get merch, hot sauce, coffee, and supplements. I have some short stories, some blog posts up there as well. If you're interested in supporting my movie, Secrets of Densmore Manor, Emily made my movie poster, so that's fucking dope. Also, if you want to support, the GoFundMe is right there on the homepage. I would greatly appreciate it. Everybody gets a special, everybody that donates gets a special thanks in the credits. Obviously, the more you donate, you could probably be an executive producer. Who knows? You never know. But anyways, that is, oh shit, knocking stuff over. That is it for the day. So you know the drill. Question everything and stay weird.
Mm-hmm.
In the quiet of the night, when the world feels far, there's a voice through the static, like a falling star. It calls the misfits, the dreamers, the ones who see the shadows in the corners, the truth we barely believe. From the pine tree woods to the desert skies, they talk of ghosts and aliens with wonder in their eyes, not afraid to ask the questions that others won't dare, 'cause the world gets strange when you stop and stare. Come gather around where the weird ones are, by the fireside glow or a midnight call, where the stories run deep and the secrets fly like owls in the dark or stars in the sky. If you've ever felt lost, like you don't belong, you found your place, you found your song, right here where the weird ones are. They'll talk of cryptids, time slips, and deja vu, of spirits that linger, and what might be true. But more than the monsters, it's the people you'll find It's not about fear, it's the thrill of the ride, to question the world with wonder as guide. So pull up a chair, let your freak flag fly. We're the seekers of truth beneath the sky. Yeah, come gather around where the weird ones are, on the moonlit thoughts and cosmic scars, where the veil feels thin and the questions burn, and we chase the strange at every turn. You're not alone, not in the dark, you're with the tribe. You found the spark right here where the weird ones are. For the ones who wonder, for the ones who know, welcome home.